No one could have known it then, but when Daytona International Speedway opened in 1959, marked the beginning of a new era in American motorsport. As a replacement for the old beach road course a few miles to the east, the opening of the high-banked 2.5-mile Florida Tri-Oval represented the leading edge of a wave of construction of big paved speed palaces. Before Daytona, Indianapolis was the only American oval track longer than 1.25 miles, and most racing took place on dirt ovals 1 mile or less in length. From the very first Daytona 500, won by Lee Petty in a three-way photo finish, those high banks proved a favorable venue for wide-open stock car racing. Daytona kicked off the growth of NASCAR as we know it today. Daytona was also the first multi-use facility with a 3.56-mile road circuit incorporating the infield and most of the oval, to host not only the Daytona 500, but also the Rolex 24 season kickoff for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Series, the AMA's signature Daytona 200 Bike Week, the WKA Daytona Kart Week between Christmas and New Year's, and a host of driving schools, clubs, and other events. Daytona's busy and diverse schedule confirms the track's motto, the world's center of racing. Tonight's more preseason action with the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series that's coming up next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching from. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, joining you for more preseason action here from Daytona International Speedway. It's going to be a 30-minute sprint race here in the LSR GT3 Series as we get, well, closing in here on season number 2. Qualifying underway presently, just about 2 minutes plus remain in this session. Low ambient temperature, 66 degrees, 68% humidity, partly cloudy skies, just a little bit of breeze at 2 miles per hour. Track temp, though, 119 degrees. Getting some sunshine down there. Fast time currently is Cody Steeg with a minute 44.453. Impressive lap. DRS time pretty close, is about a 44.1, I believe, the last I looked. Second quick on the boards, Terry Crouch. His best lap of 44.47, only 200ths off Cody's time. Still some time left in the session. I think Terry might get his one more lap in. Cody is off the track right now. In fact, Terry may get a second lap out of this. He crosses the stripe here. Does he improve? .44.47. Looks like that was the same lap. Maybe had an off track and did not register that last lap around. A little loose out of the carousel. Horseshoe, for that matter. Fortunately for Terry, a little bit of lap traffic there in his Q run. He's going to close in on Drew Blaze. He's going to abandon this. Call it a session. Not quite pole, but pretty quick for Terry Crouch. Sean Roberts, also in a Mercedes. His best lap of 45.265. Last lap, 45.999. Roberts looks pretty good through the bus stop. Currently sits 7th on the board. Brett Osborne saying, morning, morning, Mr. Steve. I don't know if it's morning quite yet, Brett, unless you're somewhere overseas. Where are you at? Sean Roberts wrapping up his Q run. Matt Sisler's best time of 46.062 in the Audi. Pro Sim Rig entry with Apex Tech. Sisler a little bit quicker, a minute 45.810. Finishes up his session, advances up to the 12th spot. Qualifying is complete. Let's take a look at our starting grid. On the pole position, the number 26 entry, that is Cody Steeg, with a lap time of 1 minute 44.453 seconds. To his outside, Terry Crouch with TLDR Sim Sport, just about 18 one-thousandths off of pole. He starts in the 2nd spot. Dave Seats, the Limitless Motorsports entry, he starts in the 3rd spot with, well, I'm going to butcher this one, Nicholas Cicado, the number 2. He starts 4th. Brandon Domingue out of Georgia, he'll start 5th. Alexis Mandrachia starts in the 6th position. Sean Roberts, the Shenandoah Shine Machine, starts in the 7th spot. 8th goes to Marcelo Rucco. Andrew Locke rolls in the 9th position, the number 25 entry. Mauro Ortiz starts 10th with Dave Tamira. Number 14 will roll off from the 11th starting position. 12th goes to Matt Sisler with Apex Tech Racing. 13th, Travis Stevens. Mike Piazza, the number 71, starts 14th. I think that's Jake Baxter, and the number 23, he starts 15th. Drew Blaze, the Lonestar Racing, starts from the 16th spot. Adam Green, the 777 out of Ohio, he starts 17th. Bill Molfeld, WJM Motorsports, is 18th. Corey Deal, that is, he starts 19th. Kevin Blue, 20th. Travis Martin, 21st. Kent Vig, 22nd. John Smith out of Florida starts 23rd. And Michael Doan, Front Row Mafia, starts shotgun on the field. The 007 starts 24th. It's your starting grid here from Daytona International Speedway. Field formed up on the backstretch. Short parade lap before we get things underway here. Track Bar Media chiming in the stream chat. Right turns are cool sometimes. If it makes you feel any better, the first turn here at Daytona, even on the road course, is still a left. Field is rolling right through the bus stop. 3 drivers appearing to have exited the session prior to the green. That's Brandon Domingue, John Smith, and Michael Doan. Looks like we'll have a 21-car field. Holler Boys racing in the stream chat. Thought I was racing. Nope. Doing some preseason broadcasting. Gonna knock the rust off. Can at least try. Snail's pace off turn 4, just about 60 miles an hour pace car speed. Keeping this field of Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, BMW, Lamborghini, all in check. Pace car peels off.
Green flag.
Green flag waves. We are underway for 30 minutes here at Daytona. Looks like everybody clean through turn 1. Brian Rose says we need an HBR TV pick. I'm going to go with Terry Crouch. I might be biased because he's going to race with us in the 24, but he's quick. He's going to be tough to beat as long as he can keep it clean. Terry Crouch started outside front row, is quickly taken over the top spot, already putting some distance between himself and Cody Steeg. The gap already 1.1 seconds as they get off NASCAR turn 2, down the back super stretch into the bus stop. Crouch using all of the racetrack, maybe some more. Nicholas Ciccato in the third position, the BMW. Cody Steeg's going to have some company. In fact, he already does have company. Ciccato on the back bumper of that Porsche. Down to the left-hand turn 7. Back into NASCAR turn 1. Crouch had a pretty decent lead there for a minute. It was about a 1.1 second advantage. Steeg has cut it down to just under 0.8, even with the pressure coming from the BMW. Ciccato in the third spot. Sean Roberts runs fourth. Andrew Locke up 4 positions already into the 5th position. Ciccato's going to get a run out of the NASCAR 4 here. He might have the position into 1. He's going to look to the outside. Side by side at the stripe. Does he have him into the braking zone into 1? He does not. Checks up, gets in behind. Porsche a little bit stronger on the brakes down into turn number 1. Really one of the hardest parts of the racetrack as far as the brakes are concerned. Heaviest on those pads and rotors. Got William Stoker in his stream chat. Thanks for checking in. Sean Roberts still in the 4th position. Andrew Locke has slipped slightly back to the 7th spot. He was top 5 there for a couple of laps, lost 2 positions, one to Marcelo Rucco and Travis Stevens, the other. Mercedes and BMW, respectively. Go on board with Andrew Locke. Well, we might have a battle for the top spot here. Steeg has closed the gap to less than, well, just less than 2/10 of a second for a moment. Really, our top 3 really under a blanket as they roll into turns 1 and 2, essentially the S's section of Daytona International's road course. Top 4 drivers really all in contention for these positions right now. Sean Roberts a little bit further back, but he's in a position to pounce if necessary. Again, only a 30-minute event here at the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series preseason event. Regular season races, I believe, 60 minutes. There's a couple that may be a little bit longer, maybe the 90-minute category. This being a 30-minute, it takes a 60-minute sprint race and makes it, well, even more of a sprint. Call it a super sprint if you want, but these guys have to hit that go button right off the bat. 30 minutes, they're not going to burn up tires. They will need to pit for fuel, though. They're working a 35% fuel load, so they're going to have to at least make one stop. That could be the difference between winning and losing here today. How quickly you can get into pit lane and out. Who opts to take tires, who doesn't. New tire model here with iRacing. Recently updated. Tires wear a little bit more. People were thinking it was going to be an issue. Don't know if it has really come to fruition just yet, but the Daytona 24 with iRacing, that's next week. We're really going to find out what tires mean in that event next week. True endurance racing. Back down into turn number 1. Crouch extends his lead just slightly under the brakes. Crouch stretching it out just a bit over Cody Steeg. Couple drivers in trouble. Alexis McKindra, but I'm saying it so wrong. I'm sorry, but hosted session. Didn't get time to prep all these names, get proper pronunciation. So again, doing my best. Vendrakia, we'll go with that. Says she had an issue on track. She does. Just a little heavy on the brakes, it looks like. Spins the car out, continues on. Travis Stevens, a similar issue possibly. Stevens in the Mercedes. Oh, a spinner just in front, a little bit of contact. Both drivers continue on as well. Will Stoker, 60 minutes per race, 90 minutes for the championship race at Daytona. Thanks for the clarification there for the upcoming GT3 Series. Still, we watch this battle up front. The top three all close-knit together. Crouch's best lap, a 44.83. Cody Steeg's a 44.67, and Nick Caccato is a 44.47. So in reverse order, the fastest is third, second, and then first. Back to Andrew Locke. He has fought his way back up into the fifth position. Looking at some other fast big movers out here. Matt Sisler in the 6th position. He started 12th in that Audi. Under pressure from Marcelo Rucco. Rucco looks to the outside into the tri-oval. Makes the pass under the brakes on the outside, goes a little bit wide, but no, he continues to push through. Great corner. Rucco takes the position away. Sisler now back to P7. Another big mover, Kevin Blue, up 8 positions in P12, started 20th. Kevin having some connection issues with his internet as of late, was really contemplating not even running this race tonight until he can get that squared away, but it seems to be okay, at least for now. See that connection issue there just for a moment with Kevin Blue, losing connection. Hopefully he can make it to the finish. Another big mover in the field, Travis Martin. He's also up 8 positions. Started 21st, currently 13th. Travis in one of 2 Lamborghinis in the field today. Check on Drew Blaze. Drew also running a BMW with Lonestar Racing. Drew, a very versatile racing driver, comes in from, well, a pretty heavy dirt background, but has found a lot of success on the oval side in asphalt cars. Coming over here and trying to support the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series. Coming in here and running some laps as he hits pit lane for likely a fuel stop here. We'll see what he ends up. Oh no, he is just leaving the session. Maybe he is done. Could be the case for Drew Blaze. He's had enough. Back up front, Terry Crouch still the top spot, but not by a wide margin. Mercedes, a little bit of an oversteer through the bus stop there. Crouch was able to maintain control of the car, keeps it rolling. Starting to extend his gap now over Cody Steek. It's now 0.8 of a second back to P2. Nick Ciccato still there in the 3rd position. Seems to have the most pace out of the top 3, but right now, just about midway through this race. Be curious to see how much fuel these guys are trying to save. Again, a pit stop will be required. In fact, speaking of which, Andrew Locke in pit lane right now. Just getting to the box a few seconds ago. Likely fuel only for this stop. Yes, indeed. Lights up the rear tires, leaving pit lane, and he's down and away. So with 15 minutes passed in the session, less than 15 remain. Andrew has completed his pit stop. He's good to go to the end, I would believe. Terry Crouch still in the throttle, on track. You gotta wonder how much fuel everybody started with. Again, open setups here tonight. That is not the norm for the series, just kind of playing with things a little bit with the Daytona 24 coming up next weekend. allowing most of these drivers that are at least planning on running the 24 to kind of come out and put to test their open sets against some real competition. So far, so good. Terry Crouch maintaining the top spot over Cody Steeg with that Mark Thomas prepared setup. Cody Steeg goes green there, runs his fastest lap of the race thus far. It was 1:44.66. It's about 2/10 quicker than Crouch that last lap, but seems that the Porsche is a little bit better on the brakes, but after that, Mercedes does seem to excel through the infield portion of the track. Try and go through our top 10 here before everybody gets into pit stops. Terry Crouch, of course, started P2, currently runs as your leader. Cody Steeg, your pole sitter in the Porsche, quickly lost that top spot and has been in the second position ever since. Nick Ciccato started in the 4th spot, up to P3. Sean Roberts, he's up 3 positions in the Mercedes. 5th position, Marcelo Rucco, started 8th, comfortably in the top 5 for now with that push to pass sim racing team. Jai Baxter in the Audi runs 6th. He's up 9 positions. Good run for him so far. Matt Sisler in the 7th position. He's up 5 spots. And then Kevin Blue runs 8th. Mike Piazza in the 9th position in the Audi R8. Brandon Domingue runs 10th. Meanwhile, pit stops underway for some of these drivers. Terry Crouch, Cody Steeg, Sean Roberts, Marcelo, everybody down to P7. I'm assuming just about everybody's going to roll down here and get in the pits. Hopefully fuel only for everybody. Don't foresee tires being changed. Nick Ciccato stays on the track, though, in the BMW. Crouch down and away. Good pit stops for both Terry Crouch and Cody Steeg. Looks like they're going to get back into the race. Just about the same gap between the two, maybe a little bit larger for Crouch's lead. It's about a 1.3 second advantage for Crouch as they go through the first horseshoe. Hopefully tires didn't pick up too much debris. Get through the kink nice and clean. They do. Andrew Locke, however, he made his pit stop early on. He's back up into the 5th position. Meanwhile, Nick Ciccato is taking over the lead. Did not pit yet. Curious to see when he will opt to hit the pit lane for his fuel service. It may be this time. Yes, indeed. Nick was very late on the brakes getting into pit lane. Time to be made up in doing just that. .7 seconds in the pits for Nick. Terry Crouch was 11:48. See where Terry lands as he get back by for the lead. He's in turn 1 right now as Ciccato's going on pit exit. It's going to be tight. Crouch is going to retake the top spot. But it's going to allow Nick to cycle up to P2. We'll see if he can put a challenge on Terry Crouch. Again, they were Crouch, Steeg, and Ciccato were the top 3 prior to the green flag stops. And we're seeing kind of what we saw early on in the race as well. Cody did not have pace for at least the first handful of laps. It wasn't until he got some time down and wore off some of that fuel, burned off some of that fuel, that car really came alive. Put a challenge onto Terry Crouch, at least for a few laps, but then started to drift backwards. Cycle of pit stops, he lost some time, and he's not quite up to the pace that he was previous to the stop. Clock continues to tick down. 21 minutes elapsed. We've got about 8:50 to go. Crouch still your leader. Second is Nick Ciccato. Cody Stieg runs third. Again, Cody was the pole sitter. Fastest guy on the racetrack right now is indeed Nick Ciccato with a minute 44:47, his best lap of the day. See where they land here as they cross the stripe. First lap at speed after the stop. 44:67 for Crouch, his fastest of the day just now. Andrew Locke just runs his fastest lap of the day at 45.9. Correction, a 45.09. Andrew Locke, typically a prototype driver. In fact, that's what they're going to be running in the Daytona 24 coming up. I think they're in the new LMDH, the BMW hybrid. Significantly different driving technique in that car versus one of these GT3s. I know they've been laying a lot of laps down in the last week or so. Takes a bit of an adjustment to go back down to a GT3. It's a difficult car to drive. It doesn't have anywhere near the downforce as an LMDH, so it's certainly an adjustment. Tough to kind of re-establish yourself in the car, and again, only a 30-minute race. Looks like Kevin Blue has either lost connection or just exited the race. We're going to try and pull Kevin Blue, our race admin, into the booth. Kevin, it's Steve. You got a copy?
Yeah, Steve, I'm here.
All right, Kevin Blue up in the booth. He's our basically our race organizer, or admin in the GT3 Series here with Lonestar Racing. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, got a little squirrely there in the bus stop and ended up losing the rear end, so I figured I'd come up here and talk to you instead of sitting in the pits.
Let's get a look at it, see what happened here, the number 54 BMW. Ooh, a little too much rear brake on entry there, huh?
Yeah, I can't remember who was in front of me, but yeah, I was kind of getting a little close to him in the bus stop, and I hit the brakes a little bit earlier than I usually do, and let off, and I guess whenever I let off, I lost the rear end.
That was the 24 of Travis Stevens.
Yeah, me and him were having a good little battle there, but yeah, man, it's all right. We had a big turnout tonight, and seems like everyone's doing some pretty good racing and keeping it pretty clean, except for that one car that went about 100 feet in the air earlier. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, man, it's been a good race so far.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. The top three, really, Terry Crouch, Nick Ciccato, and Cody Stieg battling early on. They were all tight together up until green flag stops. Now it seems Crouch has turned up the wick a bit. He's got 1.1 on Ciccato.
Yeah, Terry's quick. He's quick. I know he had a little bad luck in our last recruitment race, but looks like he's putting down some pretty good laps here. He's doing pretty good in this one.
Yeah, last race I believe he ran the Audi R8. Had an issue, I think, coming out of the horseshoe where he got crossed up in contact. I think it was with Sean Roberts. They both came together, and that was the end of the race for Terry Crouch.
Yep. Sean, yeah. Sean is, he's definitely had some bad luck himself in all of our leagues, it seems like. He's usually pretty quick and just always seems to find the bad luck.
Well, Sean's doing okay now. Currently sits fourth. He's up 3 spots.
Well, you know, Terry, I believe he's already in the league. So I said whoever wins this race, um, whoever wins the recruitment races gets their league entry paid for. So that's one way I try to get people to join them and, you know, actually race for something instead of just coming out here and just it being another hosted session. Actually give him something to race for. So if he wins the race, man, I guess I'll be refunding his league fee.
Gets his
He
money
gets
back.
the yeah. So good for him.
You know what
man.
you ought to do is give him the option. Either you get your money back, or you can donate that to a charity of his choice.
Hey, that works. That works, definitely.
Lone Star guys are always big on the charity events. You guys do so many of them throughout the course of the year. I think that's probably a good idea. Give him the option.
Yeah, I'll see what he wants to do. Or hey, he may want to give it to the second place guy. You never know.
That's true too. He's got some pace out there. In fact, he did have the fastest lap until just now. Terry Crouch goes purple on his fastest lap of the day, a minute 44.45. Tops Kakato's fastest lap by 200ths of a second.
Tell you what, man, Cody Steeg's been putting down some solid laps too. I think he was first in practice.
Well, we saw that too. I mean, he had the pole position. He lost that top spot really early on to Terry Crouch, but since, I don't know, 3-4 laps after the race had started, he really closed the gap. He had about an 8 to 9 of a second disadvantage he had to make up. He made it up. Wasn't able to maintain it through the pit stops, but I think he's just got a little too heavy fuel load on that car initially, because he came to life after he burned some of that off. Yeah.
Well, once again, man, great broadcast. Sorry, can't talk. Great broadcast. We appreciate you doing all our races for us, and hopefully we'll get a few more entries out of this, and we'll have some good fields like tonight every week this season.
Certainly looking forward to it. This is the one road series I get to broadcast each week. I would love to be in it and actually turn in some laps, but I'm real happy to have at least one road series to broadcast each week, because that's kind of my bread and butter.
Not too many series out there have the broadcasters their defending champion. I'm just saying.
That's a good point.
But yeah, if anyone's interested in joining this league, it's a bunch of great guys to run with. You can join our Discord. It's discord.gg/Lonestar Racing. Pretty easy to find, and we'll get you signed up. It's $15 for the entry, but that gets you 13 races. All the races are an hour long, except for the last race, which our championship race is at Daytona at the end, back here at Daytona. And yeah, man, I can't stress enough. It's a great group of guys. Everyone's pretty respectful, and it's just a fun league, fun format, fun car to drive. Yeah, you guys come out and race with us.
Certainly looking forward to it for sure. We've got about 90 seconds or so remaining in this 30-minute event. Terry Crouch has led every lap with the exception of maybe a couple through the pit cycle. Not sure if he'll get the white flag this time or not.
Well, I'm going to leave you to it. I'm going to jump in here and let everyone know what to do after the race. And thanks, Steve.
All right, Kev. Thanks for coming up, man. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
White flag does wave. Final lap for Terry Crouch. He does still have a 1.6 second advantage over second place Nicholas Cakato in the BMW. Cody Steek still runs third. Crouch still laying down some fast laps. 44.60 the last time by, coming to the white flag as they come into the horseshoe. Crouch down into turn 6, coming back onto the NASCAR course. Turn 1, essentially, the NASCAR turn 1. Now, we'll try and get who we can up in the broadcast booth for interviews. Again, this is a hosted session. Not everybody able to get into the Discord just yet because they may not know about it. Terry Crouch going to be wide open from here on in all the way to the checkered flag. Off turn 4 for the final time. Terry Crouch looking for a checkered flag. Terry Crouch, your winner, the GT3 Series preseason event here, race number 2 at Daytona. Nick Ciccato comes home in the 2nd spot. Cody Steeg 3rd. Sean Roberts takes the 4th position. Andrew Locke, also in a BMW, wraps up things in P5 from his 9th starting position. And Terry Crouch, your race winner. We are going to step aside here, get a break out of the way. We didn't take one the whole race. We'll do it right now and hopefully have at least Terry Crouch in the broadcast booth for his winner's interview. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I would definitely recommend the Garza Law Firm to all my family and friends because I know how he's treated me. I have been playing basketball ever since I can remember. I just finished my 6-year career playing for the University of Tennessee. I feel like we're both striving to be better every day. He's always responded quickly and has always come through with whatever he said that he's going to do. The Garza Law Firm is definitely somebody you want on your team.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Speedway, the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series preseason race number 2. Yeah, they were both at Daytona, but there's nothing wrong with that. Terry Crouch, your race winner, turns his bad luck into good luck as he rolls in here for race number 2 and turns things around. Doesn't finish at the tail end of the field this time, takes the checkered flag. Terry, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You with us?
I gotcha. Look, Steve, no crash.
I know. Perfect. Congratulations on the victory, Terry. Weren't able to put it on the pole position, but you still got by relatively quickly. I think right off the bat, turn 1, maybe at the exit of the S's before the horseshoe, but you led just about every lap after that with the exception of the pit cycle. Tell us about your race, how the car handled, and what setup you used for tonight's event.
Well, in the practice, I loaded the team setup that I was messing around with, but it didn't really suit the temps. So I just grabbed the default VRS and went for it. And it was a little slippy on exit. You know, I wasn't used to this 50-something degree track, but racing Cody, and I think it was Nicholas, was really fun. We were all just kind of lined up, nose to tail, trying to gap P4 on back and letting it shake out. It was really a really smart race from both those guys. It was really fun.
It was actually a lot of fun to watch. Sometimes in these preseason events, it can be a snooze fest. You get one guy that's really fast because it's a hosted session. You can come in and just check out from everybody. Usually we expect that to be you, but you had some competition here tonight. Cody Steeg was quick. Again, he put the car on pole. You had Nick Ciccato, an unknown. We don't necessarily know if he's going to join the league or not. Hopefully he does, but watching you guys battle it out, especially the first 15 minutes or so of the event, it was really entertaining to watch. I gotta ask though, because you put down your fastest lap of the race after your pit stop, was it a matter of just kind of being somewhat conservative the first half of the race, or did you decide just kind of run the same way and it was just the light fuel that got you that faster lap?
Oh no, it was just winging it. I was figuring it out as I went. I wasn't planning on being here. I was supposed to be in an Oval League race, and I got a black flag and crashed out of that one, so I was like, oh, this is still going with 20 minutes left, and I hopped in, saw the temps, and tried a couple laps, and figured it out as I went. Usually I can, lay it down at race time and crunch time, and maybe not so much in practice and qualifying.
So I believe you are already signed up to run this league. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So I know Kevin Blue was talking to us. He jumped into the stream chat, actually the booth, not so much the stream chat, but the winner of these preseason races, they were to get a free entry into the LSR series. And I suggested, well, you're already in it. You can either get your money back or maybe opt to donate to your particular charity, whatever it may be. I don't know if he's going to go that route, but just a suggestion on my part.
Yeah, or donate to a guy,
Yeah, that works too.
Send me a message on why you want in and race with us. It's a lot of fun. The group of guys, that I've raced with at the tail end of their sports car series. It's some of the most fun I've had in a while. So, I'll happily donate it to somebody else that can come out and jump in with us.
Even better. Well, Terry, again, congratulations on the win. You look stout out there tonight. Good luck going forward, and of course, good luck in the 24 next weekend. We're going to let you slide here. Is there anyone you want to shout out to?
Oh yeah, all my boys at TLDR Sim Sport, always fun. The Sim Pit, my wife for never blinking when I tell her how many thousands of dollars I need to spend to try and gain another 10th out on the track. So we'll see how that goes.
It's always a plus. My girlfriend lets me put my sim rig in the bedroom, so I guess we'll do okay.
Yeah, see, I'm an old grandpa, so it's a little easier for me now, but it was a little rough for a while there. She's dealt with some crap for a few decades.
Good for you, man. Congratulations, Terry. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks, brother.
It's Terry Crouch, your race winner here at Daytona. Next, we're going to go to Cody Steeg, actually. Cody, hang on here. There we go. We'll pull Cody in the broadcast booth. He's our third place finisher. Cody, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. How are you doing tonight?
We're doing well, sir. Congratulations, first and foremost. A quick car out there. I think one of the only, if not the only, Porsche that we saw in the field. Now, there was a couple in there, but you were certainly the most stout of the bunch. Put the car on the pole position. Weren't able to keep it for very long. I did notice that after a handful of laps, though, you started to close back in on Terry Crouch. Was it just a matter of the setup needing to come to you, or what was the situation there?
I had no intention of really leading for long. I wanted to fuel save and get behind him. But yeah, I mean, he got the jump, and it was like, well, might as well just give it up now, because on the back straight, everybody's gonna jump out and try to take it. So if you can save the fuel, it gives you a heads up. But really, the biggest part of it was, the track temp wasn't used to the heat. Been practicing for the 24, and we're probably going to see, maybe mid to upper 80s. So the 120 something.
Uh-oh, we lost you for a minute. You back?
Yeah, you got me?
Yeah, you cut out for just a brief second. I heard 120s, and then you went bye-bye.
Oh, yeah, 120 degrees made T1 pretty slick.
Yeah, turn one is certainly a challenge no matter the track temp. When you're used to practicing at much cooler temperatures and then all of a sudden it's that much hotter, it's certainly a big adjustment to be made. Either way, impressive lap times nonetheless. You guys made it look fun out there. The top three, you guys battling for quite a while. I see you weren't able to maintain that second spot through the cycle of pit stops. What cost you there? Was there any kind of mistake, or was it just you just got beat?
Trying to race Nicholas back out of the pits. He pitted a lap later. And coming into T1, the back end stepped out a little bit and trying to save it. I caught the grass on the inside, and it was pretty much just straighten her out and try to stop it from hitting the wall. So lost a couple seconds there, and they were close enough where they just drafted and took away, gapped me pretty good. So.
Well, either way, a stellar performance. Again, congratulations winning the pole and a top 3 finish here at Daytona. We're going to let you go. Is there anyone you want to shout out to before we do?
No, I mean, my team, obviously, we've been putting in a lot of work getting ready for the 24. Helps out a lot. LSR for putting on, the series last year, and this year looks like it'll be fun again in this race. And, of course, you guys putting on a fun broadcast to watch back later.
All right, Cody. Again, nice work. Hope to talk to you soon.
You bet. Thank you.
It's Cody Stieg, your 3rd place finisher, unable to get Nick Caccato in the broadcast booth so he can tell me how bad I'm butchering his last name. But again, Nicholas Caccato in the number 2 BMW. He was our 2nd place finisher. Again, not able to get his interview, but again, a nice run for him and those guys. I'm trying to catch the sponsor on the side of that car, unable to really make it out, but nonetheless, hopefully we can get him into the league. He was certainly fast. In fact, he is in the broadcast stream chat, so 99% sure he's in. Need to check some little things. Certainly looking forward to that. A fast guy deserves to be out here in this group. With that said, let's go over our official race results. Of course, Terry Crouch was your race winner with the TLDR Sim Sport entry. Nicholas Caccato, Cody Stieg, your top 3. Sean Roberts was 4th. Andrew Locke brought home his machine in the 5th position. Marcelo Rucco was 6th. Matt Sisler was 7th. Travis Stevens was 8th. Brandon Domingue was 9th. Travis Martin 10th. Mike Piazza was 11th. I don't think he's the New York Mets Mike Piazza, but you never know. Mauro Ortiz was 12th. Jai Baxter was 13th. Adam Green 14th. Corey Deal was 15th. Alexis Mandrakia, again, probably butchering that one too, 16th. Bill Molfeld was 17th. Dave Seats finished in the 18th position. 19th went to Kevin Blue. Drew Blaze exited early. He finished 20th. Dave Tamira, not sure what happened with Dave. 12 laps down, but he's usually pretty quick at these places. Kent Vig, he was 22nd. John Smith, 23rd. Michael Doan credited with last. I don't believe he took the green flag. Front row Mafia machine, 17 laps down. It's your race results, though, from Daytona International Speedway. If you want to see more of this coming up here at HBR TV, well, you got to follow us, turn on the notifications, share it with your friends, all that stuff. It makes a difference. It certainly helps us kind of expand this to a little bit wider audience, guys that may be interested in racing, maybe not, but haven't really gotten into it. Certainly get their eyeballs on things can certainly help. But if you haven't followed us, please do. youtube.com/@HBRTV and the number 1. Please share it. Help us out. Does make a difference. Obviously, don't go crazy. We want race fans. We don't want just Joe Blow. We'll take it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, calling it a race. We'll see you at the next one.